Have you ever noticed how many people talk about wealth, yet few truly understand what creates it? Most believe the secret lies in accumulating, surrounding themselves with people who help them grow, or focusing solely on personal gains. But what if this mindset is actually keeping you away from the real source of wealth? Sounds crazy, right? But think about it. What if the key wasn't in holding on, but in sharing, in building, not just in consuming? If you've tried all the formulas for success and still haven't seen results, the answer might just be right here. Imagine a path where giving and receiving are two sides of the same coin, where helping others is also a way of enriching yourself. We're not talking about magic formulas or shortcuts, but about a concept that almost feels counterintuitive nowadays. What I'm about to show you may seem simple, but I invite you to dive deep and understand the real power of an abundance mindset. Are you ready to discover the true source of wealth? It may be closer than you think. An abundance mentality is like a well-kept secret. Few realize how much it can transform their lives. While many people are constantly pursuing what they can accumulate, those who embrace this view understand that true prosperity isn't born from hoarding, but from sharing. The endless quest for more might seem like a safe route to wealth. Yet in reality, it often creates a sense of scarcity and insecurity, as though enough is never within reach. Interestingly, the more someone clings to what they have, the more they're trapped by the fear of losing it. The great insight of abundance lies beyond how much you have and focuses on how you live. It's about knowing that when you share what you know and what you have, the return naturally follows, often in unexpected ways. Think of someone who spends time helping others grow. They end up surrounded by people inspired to improve as well. This kind of exchange creates an emotional wealth that money or status can't buy. A practical example? Sharing a bit of what you know with a colleague who's struggling. This simple act strengthens bonds and makes the environment more prosperous for everyone. On the other hand, a scarcity mentality views life as a constant competition, a place where you must secure your own before others do. People who think this way believe there's not enough for everyone, so they hold tightly to whatever they can. But in this endless race, they wear themselves down and miss the chance to build genuine relationships, partnerships that could multiply what they have. In truth, this perspective is limiting because it always focuses on what's lacking rather than on what can be given. And this leads us to the central idea of the next point. Does excluding others really build true wealth? Many people repeat that old phrase, stay away from those who can't help you grow, as if the secret to success were avoiding anyone who doesn't add value. But does true wealth really come from exclusion? When someone chooses to exclude rather than include, they close doors to exchanges that could be valuable and unexpected. After all, great partnerships and opportunities often come precisely from where we least expect them, with people who bring different perspectives and unique life experiences. The idea that exclusion is a way to protect your growth ignores an essential truth. Real development happens in exchange. Each person we meet has something to offer, a perspective, an experience, an insight. Sometimes someone with less experience can teach us more about resilience or humility than we'd imagined. Have you ever stopped to think about how much we learn when we allow ourselves to listen and appreciate everyone around us, not just those who have made it? Exclusion creates a sterile environment where collaboration and creativity have little chance to flourish. For those seeking true wealth, each interaction, every contact, is an opportunity to create something new. Even the simplest conversations with those outside our circle of influence can open doors to new ideas, and who knows, even to future partnerships. This is where we touch on the essence of abundance. When we give, we receive in return. Which brings us to an important question. Is receiving a matter of luck, or is there a principle behind it? The law of abundance teaches us something powerful. Everything we give returns to us in some way. Those who practice giving, whether it's knowledge, time, or support, see that the return is inevitable. This idea of it will be given to you isn't just an abstract concept. It's something you can see play out in everyday life. When someone shares what they know or have, they start a cycle of reciprocity. Think of someone who is always there to support colleagues at work. Sooner or later, this comes back to them in the form of respect, friendship, and of course, new opportunities. What's most fascinating is how this cycle grows stronger as it is nurtured. When you open yourself up to give, without expecting immediate returns, doors open to new possibilities. It's like planting a seed. You may not see the fruit instantly, but it will come. A clear example? Picture a mentor who spends hours teaching a trainee. This generosity builds a connection, and over time, the trainee may bring fresh ideas or renewed perspective, which benefits the mentor as well. Generosity is what creates prosperity, not the other way around. Those who dedicate themselves to sharing are, in reality, paving their own path to success. This flow of giving and receiving transforms us and creates an abundance that goes beyond material possessions. The experience of giving enriches us emotionally and attracts people who also want to collaborate and grow. And with this, true wealth becomes accessible, not as a final goal, but as a reflection of what we're building around us. Now, the question is this wealth in what we accumulate or in what we share? True wealth is a reflection of what we share with the world, not just what we accumulate for ourselves. When someone invests in helping and supporting others, they create value that goes far beyond the material. Think of people who are always willing to teach or share their achievements. They're not only rich in assets, but also in connections and experiences. This spirit of contribution becomes a cycle of mutual learning and growth, where everyone thrives together, rather than following a lonely path of accumulation. Collaborating and learning with those around us is, in practice, like building a support network. This network doesn't drain. Instead, it generates an environment where everyone can grow. Imagine a team where knowledge flows freely. Individual development becomes something collective, and each person's progress reflects positively on everyone. Thus, those who dedicate themselves to sharing are, in reality, creating an abundant environment where individual success naturally follows collective success. This act of sharing becomes a powerful force for transformation. By making room for others to shine, those who share build a true community of support and encouragement. And this community offers much more than financial results. It fosters a kind of growth that's hard to achieve alone. In this context, prosperity arises naturally and spreads like an endless source. So here's a question. Can wealth be something we build together? Or do we need to focus only on ourselves to grow? Contributing to collective growth is like planting in fertile soil. Everything we invest in the people around us flourishes in unexpected ways. Those who understand this value see that by supporting everyone's progress, they create a more prosperous environment for themselves and others. Think of a team where everyone is willing to help. Each individual's small contribution adds up to a success that no one could achieve alone. The result is a cycle of prosperity that envelopes every person in that collective, creating a wealth that goes beyond financial gain. Building this collective prosperity requires a clear understanding. When each person collaborates, the whole becomes stronger. Imagine a group of friends who constantly share knowledge and help each other. Over time, everyone benefits, and what began as a simple act of contribution becomes a system where one person's success is everyone's success. In practice, those who contribute to collective growth are strengthening their own foundation, creating a solid structure that supports the personal and professional development of each member. This perspective is essential for anyone seeking true and lasting wealth. More than accumulating assets, creating a supportive environment enriches relationships, learning, and possibilities. Thus, each step of growth isn't just an individual gain, but one that strengthens the entire network. Those who adopt this mentality understand that, ultimately, what we reap is proportional to what we sow, and this leads to a question. Is it as valuable to climb alone as it is to build a collective ladder to the top? The ladder of prosperity isn't a solitary climb. It's built with the hands of everyone around us. Instead of seeking to be pulled to the top by someone more experienced, those who understand true wealth know that each step is an opportunity to support and be supported. Imagine the difference between someone who climbs alone, always looking for people who can help them, and someone who helps others climb along. The latter doesn't just reach the top. They do so with a network of people around them, people who will be there to sustain this journey. Building your path means learning from everyone you encounter along the way, respecting and valuing each person's experience. This process is so much richer when done together, where knowledge flows, and each new skill adds value for everyone. In a company, for instance, those who prosper most are often the ones who dedicate themselves to collaborating, sharing strategies, and contributing to the success of others. This is a sustainable ladder of success, where each step is strengthened by the presence and support of others. This shared journey reinforces one's growth path, turning each experience into an opportunity for expansion. It's like building a bridge to success, where each person brings a piece, and everyone collaborates to make it stronger. In this way, prosperity becomes a continuous, shared process. In the end, the real question is, how can we apply this mindset of giving and receiving in practice so it becomes a constant, productive reality in our everyday lives? Applying the principle of giving and receiving in daily life is a practical way to cultivate an abundance mindset. Rather than just waiting for something to come your way, those who practice giving and receiving act generously and watch the cycle unfold naturally. In personal life, this can be as simple as sharing an idea or helping a friend without expecting an immediate return. In a professional setting, it could mean offering positive feedback to colleagues or sharing a solution you found. Small gestures of generosity that, over time, come back multiplied. The key is to make this principle a regular practice, almost like a habit. Those who want to cultivate a life of abundance can start by listing areas where they can offer something, be it time, knowledge, or a word of encouragement. A professional, for example, might volunteer to help colleagues with a challenging project or share a technique they've mastered. In personal life, the same principle applies, perhaps setting aside weekly time to assist someone with something meaningful to them. In this way, abundance shifts from being a theory to becoming a reality. This cycle of giving and receiving reshapes one's view of who we are and what we truly seek. Each act of generosity builds a deeper connection with others, reinforcing the idea that we are not alone on our path. And it's fascinating to see how, the more we practice this mindset, the more returns naturally come our way, often in unexpected ways. And now, an important question: are we just helping others by applying this principle, or are we creating an environment that drives our own growth as well? Throughout this journey, we've seen how true wealth isn't in what we accumulate, but in what we share. So now, here's the question: are you ready to put this knowledge into action? In the end, it all comes down to taking the first step. Think about one area of your life where you could start practicing giving and receiving. Maybe with someone close to you, or in a day-to-day situation. Trust me, these small actions create tremendous change. If you feel there's something missing to reach your full potential, why not take the first step today? Let's transform our lives together. Subscribe to the channel, turn on notifications, and continue this journey with me. Here, we'll learn to create a prosperous and meaningful life, one step at a time.